the Bowels of Netflix, where your fearless co-hosts Isaac and Larry force each other to watch the worst pieces of shit on Netflix. We will go over every bad edit, all the broken dialogue, all the wooden acting, and laugh along the way, because this is the Bowels of Netflix!
Alright, and welcome to a bonus adventure in the colon. We are the Bowels of Netflix, your shitty friends.
I mean, yeah, you know, that's accurate. I can't argue with that.
So,
I've definitely been described as someone's shitty friend before.
we make each other review weird, awful things, usually movies on Netflix. This week we're doing a slight divergence, and we're circling back to something that, I forget what the context even was, but you lost some kind of quiz on an old episode, and the punishment was watching this.
It was horseshit. I mean, it really was. I remember it being horseshit that I lost some arbitrary quiz you made up, and I feel like most of the quizzes you make up, I come very close to getting perfect.
Yeah.
And then I was given this as an assignment that I promptly put off. Because I think it's been like 2 years now.
Yeah, probably at least. But the Piper has come piping, and Poochinski is on the menu today.
Poochinski. So I know you were looking forward to, listeners, if you're listening to this in the present, which is not now, if you're listening to this in the future, it's past. But if you're listening to now, it's the present. This is very helpful.
No one else is listening to it now, besides my pet rat.
And my dog.
And the FBI.
Well, yeah, they're always listening. And Dr.
Hello,
Mengele.
Agent Smith.
So I know you were looking forward to Pup Star Better Together.
Gotta love that Pup Star. That Airbud money.
But I had a shitty week, and the more I looked at my review as the week went on, the unhappier I was with it, and I didn't want to give somebody a half-assed Pup Star, because you don't deserve that.
For what you get paid. You need to do good work.
Yeah, Pup Star deserves my fullest, strongest, hated
erection?
hand. Yes, erection.
Okay.
It needs the pimpest hand to write out that review. So
Pup Star challenge. Put on Pup Star, start masturbating without any other stimuli, and see if you can finish.
Oh boy, I don't think for me, like me knowing that movie, I don't think there's any adult women in it. Wait, no, the maid.
Okay.
So I can make it work.
Yeah, she's got
believe
an
it or not,
nude scene, right?
I'm not attracted to men, children, or dogs, so I'd be in a rough way.
You're such a prude.
I know, right? Yeah, I'm really setting back this country. But no, so I was lying in bed, tossing and turning, which is not related to Pup Star. It's just a thing that I do because my life is sad. But I was unhappy with the Pup Star review, and it was 1 a.m. last night, and I woke up and I said, I need to give the people something that isn't this. And I've got this dog thing. Because Poochinski...
Really? You have an obsession with dogs.
No.
You're sexually attracted to dogs.
No, I've got this dog thing that my dickhead partner is making me watch that I've been putting off for a couple years. So I wanted to give you something, and this is perfect. This is good. This is something I wanted to do in the summer of stink anyway, and this is dog content, and this will spare you from a subpar Pup Star review. And we're gonna next week. I'm gonna come back, do the real Pup Star review. It's gonna be great. I really hope now that I'm building it up. But anyway, what do you do at 1 a.m. when you can't sleep and need to do something? That's right. You watch an unbought but still aired TV pilot from July of 1990 because your comedy partner is an asshole and you feel obliged to rise to his challenges because he is a dumb, stupid idiot cuck.
That sounds about right.
So, Poochinski, fucking, where do you begin? I'm assuming the vast majority of you have never heard of this, and that is correct. But, we're going to get into it pretty fast, but like I said, it's a 1990 unsold television pilot. I have a desperate need to read to you the Wikipedia, basically the entire article, but we're going to get to that at the end. We're going to do things that's slightly out of order, and you'll see why. But it does have an IMDb listing, because everything has an IMDb. I think fucking most YouTube videos nowadays get IMDb listings. It's pretty it's ridiculous. It has a 5.3 with 91 reviews, which I still think is more than Leo the Lion had. More reviews and a higher rating.
Definitely a higher rating.
Yeah. But this is quite frankly, one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen in my life. I hope you're going to get used to the word bizarre, because I'm going to say it a lot, because I don't know what else to say about this, because it is wild that someone thought this could be on television.
One of my favorite things is the title card for Poochinski. The O's are stylized as paw prints.
Honestly, we're gonna talk more about this at the end than we are at the beginning, which we're gonna flip it a little bit, because if you're not aware of the, let's call it a twist, I want you to be as surprised as any human should be upon hearing the twist of this particular property. So like it's only there's it's not on Netflix, it's on YouTube. It comes up right away, the whole episode. It's only 21 minutes long. But yeah, let's just jump right into it.
I think it was better than Seinfeld.
Should have won the Oscar that year.
Yeah.
So we get opening shots of Chicago, which were coming up a lot lately, while Peter Boyle, a human man, important to note, human man, sexually harasses a dispatcher over the phone as she tells him to interrogate a robbery victim. Peter Boyle, for those of you who are not aware, is Frankenstein's monster in Young Frankenstein, as well as the father in Everybody Loves Raymond, quite possibly one of the worst sitcoms on television.
There's a lot of people who like that show, Larry.
I don't understand. It's not funny. It's the Leave It to Beaver of sitcoms. He's probably in a lot of other things way more famous than this, but I mean, this is Poochinski, and I refuse to do any more research than absolutely necessary, so fuck that. Poochinski himself harasses the dispatcher, who is new, and tells him off by name. He asks how she knows his name, and she tells him she read all about him on the bathroom wall. So Poochinski is such a piece of shit. The other girls in the police station write about him on the bathroom wall, which is just, if that doesn't say everything about his character, I don't know what does.
That's something to aspire to right there.
Yeah, and
be bathroom wall worthy.
No, it's not. Jesus Christ. Yeah, and by the way, I'm not being cute. The man's fucking name is Poochinski. That's his honest to God. His name is Stanley Poochinski is his name. Detective Stanley Poochinski.
There's no way. Is that a real surname?
I mean, if I don't know, Isaac, believe it or not, I didn't look it up. If you have Poochinski in your life, please email the show.
And kill them first.
Send us their head. Don't actually do that. Cut to a crime scene, and Poochinski and his partner, his partner is played by George Newbern. He's not a super well-known actor, I would say, but he does provide the voice of Superman in most of the animated versions of Superman, like Justice League Unlimited. Those are great, and so I'm just going to call him Superman, because there's just 20 minutes of Poochinski content. I don't need to do much work here. Superman and Poochinski, which also, if that's not a fucking television show you want to see, get out of my face. Superman and Poochinski get some shit from a witness as Superman bitterly complains that Poochinski sucks and is a terrible detective and he hates working with. Poochinski waves him off and goes to buy a hot dog because, of course. While walking away from the hot dog cart, Poochinski comes across a group of kids that are kicking a dog. He yells at them to scram, but the lead kid, who, by the way, is like 9 years old, says, "What's it to you, Grandpa?" and pulls out a switchblade. Poochinski very poorly acts and says, "Whoa, hey, I'm sorry, I lost my head, I forget things," and then draws his pistol and says, "Like I forget whether or not this gun is loaded, there's only one way to find out."
Jesus Christ.
And the 9-year-old kids run off.
Is he dressed up like a cop? Like a beat cop?
He's like a detective in a 90s detective story.
Jesus
It has been
Christ.
1 minute and 36 seconds, and so far Poochinski, our titular hero, has sexually harassed a woman and threatened a group of children with a pistol. I wish there was 20 seasons of this for me to watch.
This is a training video for most local police departments.
Honestly, his terrible I mean, like, Peter Boyle's a decent actor, I would say, but he, like, in order to make that joke, he acts terribly, like, "Whoa, hey, I didn't mean it. I lost my head." And it looks like one of those training videos. So Poochinski goes to pet the dog. Where the fuck did Superman go? Search me. He had like 10 seconds of screen time so far and then just vanished. Did he like wander off? I don't know. He's technically the star of this feature, believe it or not.
He's going to get a hot dog of his own.
I guess. The dog Poochinski rescued is a homeless bulldog. Poochinski shares his hot dog with the Pooch and the two bond. Poochinski says, "Ugly and all alone in the world, eh? I know how that feels." Isaac, if he didn't harass that woman, I would be in love with Poochinski. The next day...
It was 1990. It was a different time.
Yeah, when harassment was just cool. Just okay. I mean, everybody hates it. I don't want to be written about in the bathroom. The next day, Soups and Poochinski are in their car with the bulldog, which Superman is complaining about the smell of. While Poochinski is loving up on the dog, a fellow detective comes up and gives him the business for finally finding somebody to kiss him. Poochinski shouts back, "Hey, don't tell anybody. I'd hate for them to think I'm being unfaithful to your wife." Inside the station, Superman talks to what I assume is the police chief. Isaac, why was I able to immediately recognize this man as the police chief?
Is he black?
And?
Handsome?
Well, that too.
Fat.
And, well, that actually also too. And?
I don't know. He's got a nose ring.
Come on. What is every police chief in every detective story ever?
Eating a donut.
Angry.
Okay, there we go.
Angry and black is what I was looking for, although technically he is also fat. And I forgot the other one. Handsome, yeah. Stereotypes, you truly are terrible. Superman wants to transfer since Poochinski is the worst partner ever. Among his complaints is that Poochinski is constantly farting, something we know that Isaac loves because Isaac eats farts. Little known fact.
Mail me a fart, I'll eat it.
Don't make me, Isaac. I don't want to live in a world where I fart into an envelope and mail it to you.
That's what hot dogs are for.
I don't know which is worse. But yeah, he complains that Poochinski is constantly farting. We never actually hear Poochinski fart. Or there's never any jokes like, "Oh God, Poochinski, what the hell?" And Poochinski's like, "Sorry, I ate a chili dog on the way over." I
wonder if that's because I know it wasn't All in the Family like the first TV show to show a toilet or a toilet flushing, and that was like a big deal.
Oh yeah, I heard something about that. I don't really know the history of toilets on television,
but there is weird like stuff you just didn't do, or like you didn't like. I think in some show you can't show a married couple in the same bed or something.
Yeah,
like that
was a thing for a long time. I know.
Yeah, so I wonder if like you didn't hear farts on TV before 1996 or something like that.
I feel like in that case, just don't say that he constantly farts.
But you gotta have some fart jokes.
No,
Yeah,
Isaac, no.
Larry, pull my finger.
No.
Better yet, pull my hot dog.
Are you coming on to me?
You're 60 miles away.
Mr. Early, are you trying to seduce me? Yeah, it's a hell of a shot. This is terrible. According to the chief, apparently Poochinski caught the North Hill Strangler and the post office bomber. Fucking hell, I want to learn those stories. The chief yells a bunch and denies the request. The partners are on a stakeout. Poochinski is singing horribly to Superman's annoyance. By the way, it is uncanny to hear Superman in something else now that I know who it is. I wouldn't have caught that before. But looking up the actor, I'm like, and I saw that he's Superman in Justice League and Justice League Unlimited and all kinds of fucking cartoons and shit. I'm like, oh my God, that's all I can hear is Superman. Why is Superman a detective in Chicago? But Poochinski shows Soups a picture of a woman in a bikini, which is apparently, quote unquote, his latest. I don't know what is supposed to follow there, but I'm sure it isn't allowed on television. He tells Soups, "You meet a lot of broads working Vice." We learned Soups has a crush on a married widow, or not a married widow. Why did I put married widow? I don't know. Anyway, a widow in his building. It was 1 a.m. I was very tired and watching Poochinski, so clearly I wasn't in the right state of mind. He's got a crush on a married widow in their building. I said it again, whatever. As Poochinski has a Domino's pizza delivered to the stakeout, but they delivered the wrong pizza. Apparently the pizza they delivered was shrimp and pineapple.
Ah, God.
Now, folks, pizza is probably my favorite food right behind lasagna. If you put shrimp on pizza, I'm going to kindly ask you to unsubscribe from the podcast and please send me your name and address so I can add you to my Richard Nixon-esque list of enemies. You are a villain and need to be destroyed.
Shrimp on pizza.
The two are arguing when they see a man rob a woman at an ATM. Soups gives chase while Poochinski lags behind. Soups tries to shoot the robber as he flees in a car, and Poochinski gives chase in the cop car. Poochinski's kind of like a bigger... Like, Peter Boyle's a large man. He's kind of like broad, but he's played off as like a slow moron here, but that's not going to matter in a minute. Poochinski chases after the guy in the car. The bulldog jumps out and gets in the road, and Poochinski jumps in the way to save it, getting hit by the car himself. Oh no. Truly, it is a boon that this horrible man will soon die. As soon as Soups runs over, Poochinski tells him to check his wallet. Apparently, he has box seat Cub tickets and tells Superman to take a date, or better yet, see how much he could sell them for.
Jesus.
While he dies, he shares a long, meaningful look with the bulldog, and we get a close-up on their eyes as mystical music plays, and Stanley Poochinski gently slips into the beyond. And then credits roll, and that's the end of our picture. This won like 50 awards at Cannes, guys. So we cut to Poochinski's funeral, where we saw only a few attendees. Superman is crouched over the grave, which is like covered in flowers, by the way. If you've ever buried a loved one, you know that shit isn't cheap, so clearly somebody must have liked this crusty prick. As Soups is hunched in concentration, we hear the voice of Poochinski telling him, "Boy, you're really beating yourself up about this, huh?" So yes, you'd think, okay, the ghost of Poochinski, right? Well, in fact, folks, I've led you on a bit. In case you didn't remember from whatever the fuck episode I got this stupid thing in the first place, Poochinski's spirit is now inhabiting the bulldog with whom he shared the hunt.
Yeah.
The
This is so great.
Poochinski puppet. Isaac, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to look up I need you to look up on Google, YouTube, whatever, Big Bertha arcade game. Folks at home, I encourage you to do the same thing and describe to me what you're looking at.
God. It's like a giant Muppet with huge red lips and weird googly eyes and hair that doesn't look like hair, and then there's a giant dangly uvula, which I guess you'd throw?
You throw balls at, yep.
Yeah.
Poochinski's head looks like Big Bertha's head, and that's the only thing I could see. I saw it immediately and thought, oh my god, that's Big Bertha. That is the pull that I got from this. It's a big, stupid head with a weird animatronic mouth that never seems to fully close. And apparently, I read a review on IMDb. This is uncredited. I don't know if this is true. I could not find a lot about Poochinski, but it said they claimed the dog puppet was the animatronic dog was 6 figures. I don't have that is somebody's IMDb comment. I have no confirmation if that's true or not. I don't think it's a puppet. I think it actually is an animatronic.
It looks horrifying. I have a couple pictures pulled up.
Yeah, if you haven't
it's
already,
been a while since I've seen this.
Look up, just put Poochinski into Google and just look up a picture of this fucking dog, and then compare it to Big Bertha and see that I'm not crazy. That's what. No,
you're not. It's
spot on.
Jesus.
So yeah, Poochinski is alive in the bulldog and starts talking to Soups. He immediately proves that it's him for real by telling him his badge number and other associated info before singing to seal the deal. He and Soups briefly talk about death, which is deeply distressing. And then we get the usual, no, this is impossible, I must be crazy, from Superman. Poochinski says being a dog is great because you have stronger teeth, you can take a nap anywhere you like, and if you see a girl you like, you don't have to bother with small talk.
Jesus. 1990. God.
This was a pilot that did air on television. He's the hero, ladies and gentlemen. Soups asks...
So is he going to fuck human women as a dog?
Isaac, just wait.
Oh, God.
Soups asks what he's going to do now. Poochinski says lick himself and then find his killer. But Soups says he's got put on a desk job as, I guess, punishment? I don't know. Poochinski goes and eats grass to make himself sick, just for the joke of him saying, "You're making me sick." All I can think is how much Poochinski's face skin flaps must stink like absolute hell.
Bulldogs frighten me.
I'm not a fan. Anyway, they yammer, and the two of them go back to the police station to be put back on the case. The rude detective from earlier that Poochinski said he was plowing his wife starts giving the two of them flack. He tells Soups to sell Poochinski's dog to the restaurant down the street as meat.
Oh, God.
I'm guessing... So I guess nobody but Soups can hear Poochinski talk. It's never really... it kind of is explained... It's not really... They don't go into it very much. I don't know what the rules are, and it's never really delved into, sadly.
I'm just going to go ahead and assume that Soups is a schizophrenic.
Oh, no. Well, you'll see. Anyway, Poochinski pisses on the guy's leg because, of course, he does. Unfortunately, I paused the video to write this while the Poochinski puppet was looking directly at the camera, directly into my eyes, which was deeply frightening. And all of a sudden, I feel like my soul is switching. Hey, it's me, Stanley Poochinski. I'm going to smack a broad in the mouth if she gives me any lip. How you doing? What is this, a podcast?
Mr. Poochinski?
Yeah, hey, it's me. I'm a dog now. I was a dog, and now I'm this other fat guy. I was a different fat guy before.
So how do you feel about the Me Too movement, Mr. Poochinski?
What the wait, I can't... I was told I can't cuss because I'm on cable television.
That's right.
What the heck is a Me Too?
It means that women have autonomy over their bodies and shouldn't be sexually harassed.
It sounds ridiculous. What if you see a fine broad walking down the street and she's wearing a jumper? What? A jumper. That's what the kids wear now, right? I'm
yeah,
an immortal
yes.
detective bulldog. Hey, you ever hear a man fart the alphabet?
You don't think that's possible?
Oh, well, give me a couple of cans of beans and we'll see who's right.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, I gotta go. I gotta catch a cockfight. I'll see you later. Fuck. What was that?
Nothing. You sneezed really hard.
Well,
It's all good.
I'm sure that's never going to happen again. I'm betting Poochinski isn't going to end up in our rotating cast of wacky characters, along with Dr. Joseph Mengele.
Yes, hello.
What have we done? Why are recurring characters the worst people?
Oh man, Siri, that's a sitcom right there. Poochinski and Mengele.
I want to point out, I thought of that line, you ever heard a man fart the alphabet, at about 1:45 this morning, and I laughed so hard I couldn't breathe. At my own joke, which is how I'm going to die. I just want you to know that. I am 100% going to die by suffocating from laughing so hard at one of my own jokes, which almost happens about once a week.
Just keep a knife handy for an emergency tracheotomy.
I'm going to keep a knife handy to just jam it into my temple and end it. Anyway, Soups and Poochinski go to Casey, the woman from the opening that Poochinski was harassing. And he promptly starts humping her because he truly is the worst man. I mean, dog. He humps her so hard she falls over.
Does he finish?
Yeah, he sprays a load of cum all over her, Isaac, on this network television
we get a
show.
Facial? That's great.
This aired on NBC, Isaac. Anyway, Soups gets put back in the Poochinski murder case. Back in the apartment, which is like a big apartment building, they run into Soups' widow Crush and her daughter. She is super friendly and nice and asks him to dinner, but he declines. Thankfully, Poochinski does not hump the young daughter, a thing which at this point would not surprise me. As they leave,
they're small favors.
Yeah, I know. As they leave, Poochinski chews Soups out for not going on the date, because apparently Soups is a bit of a wuss when it comes to dating. This fucking dog puppet is so atrocious, by the way. You kind of get used to it for a minute, and then, like, the camera zooms in really close to it, and it's like, God, Jesus Christ, get that thing out of here. It's Uncanny Valley. It's like dog Uncanny Valley. I was just going to say that. Yeah, it's really strange. They have some light banter here where they argue. Poochinski doesn't like being called a dog and insists he's a cop, reminding us again that he caught the North Hills Strangler and the post office bomber. Hot damn, I want to see the fucking bloodbath that Poochinski caused in those particular colleges.
Were they planning on, like, flashback episodes?
I don't know, but I hope the fact they brought it up twice in this episode means that they definitely meant to come back to it. Because Poochinski is the worst, but they keep implying, like the chief and Poochinski himself keep implying that he's like this great detective, even though he's the worst man. Poochinski screams that he's a better cop with 4 legs than Superman will ever be with 2. Superman bodily throws Poochinski out into the hall, who vows revenge. He gets into the elevator and says, 5, please, and a man in the elevator hits the button absentmindedly while reading the newspaper. So I guess other people can hear him. Nobody seemed to be able to earlier, but maybe it was just like implied that he was... I don't know. I don't understand how the dog rules work. It doesn't... Maybe it's Garfield rules, because as we all know, Garfield rules is that he doesn't actually speak, but John sort of gets the gist of what he's saying.
I guess so. I'll go with the fact that Soups is a schizophrenic. And also the name Soups, I'm just associating with the bowls of soup now, and not Superman.
You know what? That also works.
That's a great name for a character.
I was typing out Poochinski and Superman, and those are both long names, so it just became Soups, and I just started copying and pasting Poochinski, because I believe it's in this 4-page document 115 times.
Jesus.
It's not, actually. I just made that number up. You fucking idiot. A while later, somebody knocks on Superman's door, and it's the widow, her daughter, and Poochinski. The widow, by the way, is played by Amy Yazbek, who apparently is one of the main characters from Wings, a show I never really watched, but it was like Tony Shalhoub was in it.
Right.
I believe she may also be the love interest in The Mask with Jim Carrey, but if you think I'm digging that far, you're fucking high.
It's Cameron Diaz.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. You have you have a lot of Jim Carrey knowledge, don't you?
I like farts.
And the human fart that is Jim Carrey, of course, is your favorite.
He's
I like him. He's a dog. He's Poochinski.
He's talented. He just doesn't believe in vaccines, jackass.
Oh, really? He's one of those?
No. He dated Jenny McCarthy, who was like anti-vax before it was even popular. Fucking idiots.
I was anti-vax before it was cool. Yeah. Hey, don't
love the art, not the artist.
Don't get your worldview from celebrities. They're just as stupid as everybody else.
Buy an Adolf Hitler painting, hang it up.
Yeah. Okay. Poochinski rolls in while Soups is flustered by his crush. Soups goes and chews him out. Poochinski says, "You don't need my nose to smell that this dame wants you bad." Yep.
Right.
Then when Superman goes to the kitchen to help, Poochinski goes to the radio to put on mood music and puts on "Everybody Loves Somebody Sometime," which is a great song, and I can't believe it's not in one of the Fallout games list. It is, in which case, shut up. That fucking puppet looks so creepy turning on the radio. Because you the way the camera's set up, you only see his eye line and up, and then the top of his paw, and it's just so unsettling. It's like, it's awful. I don't like it. I don't like looking at this fucking puppet. Soups tosses Poochinski into the bedroom, who promptly starts barking up a storm like a gigantic asshole, and then proceeds to tear the bed up to feathers. The two struggle behind a closed door. When the widow comes to check on them, Soups is holding his pistol. This show is the wildest goddamn thing I've ever seen.
Shoot the dog?
The widow kind of just goes back to the kitchen and then never shows up again. Soups pleads with Poochinski from behind the door, basically saying, "Look, man, shit is strange and I'm not sure how I can deal with it." He goes back in and finds Poochinski is staring at himself in a mirror. Isaac, I have seen some wild shit in movies for this podcast, but I gotta tell you, with not a word of lie in my heart, this next scene rocked me to my core. I rewound and watched this scene 4 times in a row to make sure I got everything right about it, because it hit me like, I don't even know, it hit me like a cement truck fired from a catapult. As Soup sees Poochinski looking in the mirror, Poochinski says in a sad monotone, quote, "Look at me. I've become a dog. It's all sinking in now." And Isaac, for some reason, "look at me, I've become a dog," is like, I don't know, man. I feel like my whole worldview has changed. That sad moment of utter self-awareness and the full weight of his actions, like, all sink in on that one line. Isaac, that might be the most powerful line read in history.
Should have won the Oscar.
It, honestly, just... So think about this fucking misshapen dog. This would be something that fucking hack Wes Anderson would put in one of his movies. Just this Poochinski puppet looking into the mirror and saying, "Look at me. I've become a dog." That really got me way harder than I expected anything to ever get me. It's the strongest most powerful line read in history. Poochinski commiserates how he's lost his life now and now has to adapt to being a dog. Soups tries to talk him out of his melancholy. He uses words, "It's life, precious life." Fuck, man. Fuck. We never see how the rest of the date goes as we cut to, I guess, a week later, and we get a throwaway line about a rabies shot from earlier in the week, so they're just like on the street now. I guess time has passed. Poochinski has been staking out the ATM all this time, as suddenly, in broad daylight, this robber strikes again, holding a gun to an old lady at the machine. Superman gives chase down the street, followed slowly by Bulldog Poochinski. Eventually, Superman and the mugger end up in a fist fight, and Poochinski jumps on him from a low roof, tackling him down. The fight continues, and eventually the mugger gets the upper hand. So, of course, Poochinski gnaws at the mugger's crotch so Superman can punch him, I assume, dead. To make sure we know that Poochinski isn't an gross gay man, he tells Soups he didn't enjoy that. Thanks, the 90s. I was afraid for a minute my hero Poochinski might be gay and enjoy biting another man's genitals. Great, thank you. I was in...
That'd be a very different movie if the dog got AIDS.
Episode of a TV show. Yeah, if the show was about... Boy, that's a Wes Anderson. That's Wes Anderson.
Yeah, Philadelphia, except Tom Hanks is a dog.
Funny you mentioned Tom Hanks. We'll get to him in a couple minutes.
Oh, God.
Yeah, he makes a cameo. Wrapping up, we see the two have received medals for, I'll say, bravery. And
wait,
the
dog gets a medal too?
Yeah, we cut to like a picture of the chief and Superman and the dog, like all like they're getting medals. It's like Star Wars, the medal ceremony at the end of at the end of A New Hope. So they're watching TV in their apartment. Poochinski makes a mess immediately and then puts on a horse race, claiming he has money riding on. You know,
okay.
I wonder if there's a dog out there somewhere with my father's spirit in it, because that would honestly kind of fit. Isaac, I think Poochinski might be the cable TV version of my father. They share many similar attributes, except my father would cuss. Apparently, according to Soups, they are on the Canine Squad now because, yeah, sure, a random bulldog as official police asset. Why not? Sherlock Holmes uses a basset hound. Think Toby's a basset hound anyway. Shut up. Soups yells at him, and Poochinski eats one of his shoes, and they argue as the strangest experience in television history draws to a confusing end. And while the credits roll, we hear that up next is Farrah Fawcett, starring in the NBC miniseries Poor Little Rich Girl. So, Isaac, at least we know what you'll be watching next. What do you say about Poochinski? Nothing, because technically it doesn't exist. This was something else. I mean, there's literally nothing more to be said. You've heard everything about it. This was it. This is all of it. There's nothing more about Poochinski to be said. Somewhere in a basement in Hollywood, that puppet is sitting there with my soul in it. Okay, though, for real, the thought that this was something that was on, like, Channel 4 is just wild to me. Somebody wrote this script and thought, you know what? This might get a season of television. And a bunch of NBC executives said, well, no, definitely no. He's a horrible man and somehow a worse dog. But hey, let's play the pilot anyway and go ahead and buy yourself a steak on the way out, kid. This was so ridiculous, it rolled around to being kind of amazing. I mean, Poochinski is positively terrible, but that is the point. I desperately want to see more of this, but that's all there ever will be, and that's kind of sad. Considering this isn't a movie, I'm not going to rate it since it kind of skews the scale, since really it was 20 minutes, probably 18 with transitions. So it wouldn't really be fair to rate it on the same scale as even something like H2O, which is the other show I reviewed, since that was like 3 episodes I reviewed. This is just the most bizarre 18 minutes of television to ever exist. Apparently Last Podcast on the Left, according to Wikipedia, played this on one of their streams, so here we are once again sucking their dicks.
That's how I heard about it at first.
Oh, okay. That line of, look at me, I've become a dog, is probably also going to be a t-shirt of ours one day, so add that to your wish list, kids. This is terrible, but amazing. It's short, it's on YouTube, I encourage you all to go watch it, since there's nothing quite like this anywhere I can imagine. It's such a bizarre piece of the American pie. But I wanted to just read a few things here real quick. I wanted to read you the Wikipedia article of Poochinski. The plot, Isaac pointed out before we started recording, the Wikipedia article has besides the cast and references, it has 2 sections, plot and fate.
I don't know if I've seen Fate describing a TV show before. It's so strange.
The plot is the story follows a Chicago police detective played by Peter Boyle, whose spirit is transferred into a flatulent English bulldog after he is killed in the line of duty. The canine detective then returns to solving crimes.
It's a story of the ages.
I kind of thought that was it. I mean, I figured that was it this morning, and I was all done. I was satisfied. And then I woke up this morning. I had troubled sleep, which again is not unusual. And I was up at 7:30 after going to sleep at 2:30. And I was scrolling through Facebook, and I happened to pass something advertised on Disney Plus called Turner and Hooch.
Oh, yeah.
Which is something that I knew existed, but had no clue what it was. Turner and Hooch is a movie starring Tom Hanks and a dog. Tom Hanks is a detective, and Hooch is a dog who was owned by his best friend who gets murdered or some shit. I read the plot synopsis, but I'll spare you. By the way, don't watch this movie. It sounds bad and terribly sad. But anyway, so I'm looking at this. I'm like, oh, well, it's just the same thing. It's just fucking Poochinski. So Turner and Hooch was reviewed very poorly, but it was a box office success. And it went on to spawn. There's a new series apparently on Disney Plus, which is just starting, which is why it got pointed out to me on thank you Facebook, you piece of shit. And apparently while I was looking into that, because I'm like, that looks a lot like Poochinski, which no human being has ever said, oh, that thing reminds me of Poochinski. Apparently they made a sequel like TV show, which I don't think went anywhere. And they aired it the same night as Poochinski.
Oh.
And called it Two Dog Night. And it was back to back. It was the pilot for Turner and Hooch.
Jesus.
And the pilot for Poochinski, which Poochinski, they knew they were not going to pick it up, but they aired the pilot anyway because I guess they were like, this has to be on TV at least once. Somebody at NBC took a giant rail of coke and was like, fuck, we got to get that thing on there. I got to see Peter Boyle as his puppet on television at least once before I die. So yeah, that's all I got.
Very bizarre.
Yeah.
Two Dog Night?
Two Dog Night. I
That's
found an
such a
article on the
weird-
Wayback Machine from 1990. So Poochinski is only 6 years or 6 months older than me. Which says, I don't know if that says a lot about me or about Poochinski, but yeah.
Oh God, we
Yeah.
were born in a different time.
Yep, pretty much.
There's a chance I would have been a little toddler when Poochinski came out, but there's a chance my family sat down and watched Poochinski when it aired the only time, and I was in the room for it.
It was July 9th of 1990, Two Dog Night.
Yeah, I might have been suckling at my mama's breast, getting a little something.
Suckling at my mama's breast, getting a little something.
Yeah, food, booby food. How long were you breastfed?
I don't know if I was or not, and I don't really need to or want to know. I'm fine without that knowledge.
I stopped when I was like
26.
3.5, Larry. 3.5. I'm a long run.
Today is, in fact, my mother's birthday, and as a
Hi, Larry's mom.
as a 30-year-old man, I don't think I'm going to go to my mom and be like, "Hey, did I breastfeed?"
Yeah, so just Larry's mom, just email in the show. Let us know the details of breastfeeding one Lawrence Reginald Beard.
Mom, if you do that, our relationship is over. Just so we're clear. So she does listen to this occasionally. Yeah, no, that is Poochinski. That is. We've officially produced twice as much content as Poochinski has about Poochinski. If you know this exists, the whereabouts of this dog puppet, I am putting a bounty on it because I want it and I want to blow it up.
How much would you pay for it in real life?
I have so little money to my name. I may have to look for a new place to live, so I can't afford it right now.
You could take out a personal loan.
I would like to sneak in and blow it up if it exists somewhere. I hope they buried it with Peter Boyle.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Think of how different the 90s would be if we had Poochinski run for 7 seasons and never got Everyone Loves Raymond.
I don't know which is worse. But I had a better time watching Poochinski than I did ever watching a single episode of Everybody Loves Raymond.
You're so harsh.
It's a terrible show. It's not funny. It's not funny. Here's the problem. It might be better if things like Seinfeld and Friends didn't exist, but compared to those two, it's such a piece of shit that, like, how could you ever...
It's a happy show for families.
No, it's a piece of crap. It's a piece of crap. Starring one of the most unfunny comedians that's ever been, Ray Romano. He's not funny.
Oh, golly gee. Well,
Mr. T.
we made it through Poochinski.
Yeah, that was something. I actually thank you for making me watch that because that was, it was short and sweet, and I don't want to say to the point because I don't know what the point was, but fucking hey, did I watch it?
Existential dread, that's the point.
We're gonna get a T-shirt out of it one day. Look at me, I've become a dog. So yes,
oh, man.
Sorry you didn't get Pup Star this week, but I wanted to give you something, and that's coming next week. I'm going to go back into the hyperbolic time chamber and train for a year in 0G, or 500G, however Dragon Ball Z works. I don't know.
Here on Bowels of Netflix, it's a 2-dog fortnight. You're getting two pieces of dog content.
We're bringing it back. We're bringing back the 2-dog night as 2-dog fortnight. Fucking
31 years later.
You're a genius. You're a fucking genius.
Marketing wizard.
If only the only sad thing is it played on July 9th, and we're recording on July 25th. If only we could have recorded it on the 9th. 31 years to the day of the premiere, and only one time only premiere of Poochinski.
Oh boy. Well, yeah, we got Pup Star coming next week, and after that, it's Liam Neeson, Ice Truckers Must Die.
Ice Truckers Must Die. I didn't believe that you're thinking of Surf Nazis Must Die.
Yeah. Surprised there's so many less Nazi movies.
I know
on Netflix.
I know. Now that we had Pootie Tang, which was back to our olden days of Bowels of Netflix. You had a long spate of Nazi movies, and there's so few now. Every couple of months, I do put in Nazi into Netflix to see what it comes up with to make you watch. But
that's why the FBI is on our case.
They're all either too good or documentaries.
Yeah, we had Surf Nazis Must Die, which was Trauma, and then there was Nazis in the Moon.
It was Nazis at the Center of the Earth, which still Mecha Hitler is Still the ultimate villain. And then
Yeah.
it was, I believe it was Iron Sky.
Right, but it's like Hollow Moon, but it's a secret Nazi
Yeah,
base.
they're on the moon. There is a remake or a sequel on Netflix of that, but it looks like it's too good.
Really?
Yeah. It might
to
not
check that
still be
out.
there, but it was for a while, because I briefly toyed with the idea, but it looks like the production values are high, and it's probably too good. It looks like it's so silly it might actually be fun.
I have a little teaser. I don't know if you've seen that these movies have hit Netflix, Larry, but we're going to have to go down a Twilight rabbit hole.
Oh, fuck. You know what? It's funny you mentioned that, because in my family's Discord, one of the people told me that the Twilight movies were on there. And I said,
Yeah.
I should make Isaac watch those. And great, I've been beaten to the punch, I see.
Yep. Well, there's 4 of them, and they're all on there. So
I have seen the second half of the last movie
Jesus.
and 15 minutes of the middle of the second movie.
I think I saw the whole first one.
I think it was the middle of the second one. Yeah, I have never seen the first. I did read the first book when it came out, because I wanted to see what the hubbub was about, and then I realized that it was terrible, and I didn't want to read it again. I didn't have any interest in following it. But yeah, great. Can we not do that? What are your thoughts on not doing that?
Apparently, the missus just messaged there's 5 movies.
Yeah, the fourth one was split into 2, like the fucking dumb last Harry Potter.
Oh, right. Okay, so there's plenty of Twilight to spread the love around.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Oh Christ!
It's gonna be.
If you make me try and suss out what's happening in Twilight 5, I might actually go insane.
Yeah, that'd be pretty great just to start you off with part 2 of the last one.
I've seen the last half of that, and let me tell you, it's fucking stupid. It is so. It
Really?
is the
Get out
dumbest.
of here.
It is the dumbest shit. It is. You know how? Oh, okay. Fucking spoilers for the ending of the Twilight film franchise. Skip ahead of 2 minutes if you don't want to hear about it. You know how, also spoilers for the 1980s drama, Saint Elsewhere. You know how Saint Elsewhere ends? It's a hospital drama, and it all ends being an autistic boy's dream in a snow
Oh,
globe?
right, that stupid thing.
That's basically how Twilight kind of sort of ends.
What? It's in a snow globe?
No, it's like there is a whole climax fight scene between whatever the fucking groups, I don't know what they are. I truly had no idea what they were. There's this whole big vampire fight scene, and it's like middling because it's a teenage dramedy fight, not dramedy, drama, vampire, werewolf, vampire fight on werewolf on the human, on I think half vampire fight scene. And then that whole fight scene was like a dream. And then they don't have a fight scene. Everyone just shakes hands and goes on their merry way.
God, that sounds awful.
It's the stupidest thing ever. Because I remember I went over to one of my ex-girlfriend's houses when we were dating at the time, and she was finishing watching it and just left it on, and I was like baffled as to how stupid of a twist that was. Like, not even knowing who basically any of the characters were or what the plot was at that point. It was just such a stupid ending. It's like at the end of Star Wars, it fucking just all of a sudden then it pulls back and it was just Yoda and Luke talking about, wouldn't that be cool if we blew up another Death Star?
And then Yoda just starts sucking Luke's dick.
Yeah, it always comes down to sex with you.
Yeah, I guess so.
You're the Poochinski of this podcast.
Do you think anyone's ever fucked the Yoda puppet?
The actual Yoda puppet?
Yeah.
No. A Yoda-shaped thing? Absolutely. Many
Well, yeah, no. I bet Lucas got in there. Got a little something.
We've got to end this. We're getting dangerously close to fucking killing ourselves. I don't even know what. We've talked for 48 minutes about Poochinski. This must end.
And we got breast milk and Yoda fucking in there.
Yeah, by the way, stay tuned for our side podcast, Breast Milk and Yoda Fucking. I'm predicting 100
I'll take
episodes.
the breast milk.
As an NBC executive, yes, sir, I'd like to order 2 seasons of Breast Milk and Yoda Fucking, please.
Oh, man, I gotta start writing the script.
All right, fucking wrap it up.
Thank you so much for listening. Find us on Facebook, find us on Twitter. We're the only Bowels of Netflix in your life. Send us an email, bowelsofnetflix@gmail.com. If you have any weird oddities that we could do as other bonus episodes like this, that would be cool to find some of them out.
Yeah, this was genuinely a lot of fun.
And yeah, stay tuned because we got some pup action, we got some ice truckers trucking around and the Liam Neeson thing, and then there's going to be a lot of Twilight.
Your descriptions of things are truly magical.
I don't know. I'm probably describing the movie accurately.
Oh no, I'm not. It was not. That was not a condemning you. Truly, that was amazing.
Oh god, I gotta get invited to do more eulogies.
I can say I've never done one of those. I've done a handful of weddings now, but not a eulogy yet. Thankfully,
gotta start killing people.
Oh, I've had a lot of people I love dying. It's just I've never done the eulogy.
All right, well, I'll go ahead and die, and then you can eulogize me.
That'll go well.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Yeah, I'm sure everybody's gonna love that.
All right, stay tuned for whatever nonsense we are. We love you. See you next week.
Smell you later, like Poochinski's skin face flaps.
Oh god,
All
Larry.
I can think about.
I have to eat.
Ass.
Well, yeah. Yes, I have to.